Okay, today we're going to talk about Fibonacci and we're going to look at two tools. So the Fibonacci retracement tool and the Fibonacci extension tool. I started using these about 6 months ago and it completely changed the game in terms of how I trade and took me from being fairly profitable, good weeks, bad weeks, to more consistently profitable and allowed me to get better entries. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how I do it. So I'll show you some real life examples. We'll talk about the history of the Fibonacci and how you can apply it to your trading day. So strap in, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, let's dive in. So a brief history lesson, what the Fibonacci sequence is, why it works, and how to use it, and some live charts is what we're going to be covering today. So a very brief history lesson. I'll publish some sources so you can look at it. I got sucked into a bit of a hole here. It was fascinating. And I think because it helped me so much in my trading journey, I got quite into it. But it was popularized by an Italian mathematician named Leonardo da Pisa. And he published a book called Libra Apache. Abaci, sorry, not Apache, it's a helicopter. Libra Apache, translated as the Book of Calculation in the 12th century. I think it had quite a profound impact on kind of modern mathematics and our understanding of mathematics as well. Fibonacci itself was quite a small section within the book. And his name was Leonardo of Pisa, but historians kind of nicknamed him Leonardo Fibonacci to stop him getting confused with another guy. And I think there was the original kind of idea around Fibonacci and some of the founding principles were kind of discovered or documented in India. So Leonardo da Pisa spent a lot of time traveling, which is where he started discovering the kind of mathematical work that Pingala had been doing, and then built on that and published it in Europe. So that's the background. I'll publish some sources, as I said, and you guys can have a look if you're interested. So what is the Fibonacci sequence? So before we dive into this, the Fibonacci sequence is very simple in terms of how it works. You're just adding the previous number. So when you're looking at numbered sequences, you're adding the previous two numbers to make the next number. So one. So the first number is 1. Then you've got 2. Then you've got 3. Then you've got 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then you've got 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. Then you've got 21 plus 13 is 34, etc., etc. So that's how it works from a numerical sequence perspective. But the Fibonacci sequence is seen in kind of natural growth really frequently as well. It represents an efficient and harmonious way of adding new structures to existing ones. It allows for proportional growth and stability, which explains why it's seen in such a diverse array of natural patterns in the world. And I've listed a few here. So you've got flower petals. So lilies have 3 petals, buttercups have 5, daisies often have 34, 35 petals. The spiral shape of the hurricane resembles a Fibonacci sequence spiral, so demonstrating the efficient energy distribution. And then seashells is exactly the same. It grows in a logarithmic spiral that aligns with Fibonacci numbers. So this isn't just something that someone's made up, drew some lines on a chart and said, hey, this is Fibonacci. This goes way back and is found naturally all over the world and in kind of Mother Nature. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. But let's talk about why it works in trading. So there are 3 reasons. The first 2 are similar. So the psychological levels. So the Fibonacci levels reflect levels where traders tend to place buy and sell orders. So if you've used the Fibonacci tool and you see a load of lines, it makes sense that other people have also seen their lines and they're going to start placing their buy and sell orders there as well. And because of that, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if everyone is using Fibonacci numbers, then they just work, right? Because everyone is doing the same thing. And Fibonacci is not a tool which, I've made up or anyone's made up. It's a widely used tool by a lot of traders out there. So yeah, it will reinforce the significance of that. And then natural market rhythms as well. So the market never just goes up. It tends to move in waves, which would represent that kind of harmonious growth pattern, that proportional growth pattern that was talked about on this slide here. 1.618 is important, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So that's kind of why it works. It works because everyone thinks it works. So let's talk about how to use it from a trading perspective. So essentially, you're going to measure from price point to another price point, usually the last significant movement. There are two Fibonacci tools that you can use in TradingView specifically. So you've got the retracement tool and the extension tool. We'll cover both today. So, and retracement, essentially what you're looking at is where is the price likely, or where might the price go to once it's finished this run. So imagine you've seen the price, it's skyrocketing up, you're trying to find entry, and you start to see that it's hit that top and started to come back down. You want to look at where could the price retrace to find a good entry point. I would say anything below 50% I'd class as a discount zone where you should start looking for entries. I find 0.618 and 0.786 are good optimal areas to look for entry. I think that's fairly standard across the board. If it goes past one, reassess your plan. We'll talk about this in a second. But if you're trading on a 5-minute time frame and you've drawn from point 1 to point 2, that point 1 will be your 1. And if the price sort of retraces back past that and closes above it, in my mind, the trend is broken. So I would be closing that trade and looking, maybe going to another higher time frame to look for entry. And then you've got extension, which is looking at if the price has come back down to here, where could it extend to? If you think about that harmonious and proportional growth pattern, it's come up here, it's come down. Where is it going off to? And we'll look at the extension tool to understand how you can use it to figure that out. So enough of the presenting. Let's dive into some live charts. So what we're looking for with retracements we're going to use the Fibonacci retracement tool to figure out where our discount area is. So when you're trading, you don't want to buy once the price has moved significantly. You want to wait for it to come back up into a discount area. And we can look at how to do that now. So if we're looking at the GBP JPY in this scenario, let's just play this forward. So lots of momentum on the daily. It's come down. We've seen this engulfing candle here. So let's say you've been, you missed this. You saw it halfway through. You didn't know how much more of the move was left, and you wanted to just let it play out for a bit. What you can do is get the retracement tool. You can take it from one extreme of the move to the other. Drag it out just so that you've got information. So you've got a good view. And then essentially a discount zone is anything that is below or above a 50% retracement of the price. So anything within this box I would consider a discount range, and I would look for entry. An optimal entry area would be between the 0.618 and the 0.786. So in this area here. And let's get rid of this. And then if we watch this play out, I'm sure what we'll see is that the price will tap into that box and we could take a short trade at that level. Nice. There we go. So yeah, I think for me, the retracement is a very good tool of identifying a discount area, finding a potential entry area, and then what you can do is, as you see price moving into that zone, you can go into the lower time frames and start looking for signs that the price is indeed reversing and getting a more precise entry level. Let's watch this play out more. There we go. Okay, now let's look at the Euro USD. So same thing here. We've seen a nice big uptrend. Feels like we'd probably be too late taking a long position here. It's moved quite a lot. So let's wait until we see signs of a pullback. So, well, there it is. Wasn't expecting it that quick. So let's pause. Have a look here. We're going to measure up to the extreme. We're going to draw our discount zone, which is from here. And we're going to look for our optimal entry zone, which is around here. Remember, the optimal entry zone doesn't always hit. It's where we'd like to get in. Sometimes the price is just too bullish, or there's too much. Oh yeah, too much bullish intention on it, and it just doesn't get that far. So let's see how this one goes. So again, anything below 50%, I generally feel is quite good, and is an area where I'd be looking at the lower time frames to find if there's a good opportunity for entry. So let's look at this, see if it goes down to that level. There you go. So taps in, touches the 0.168. And then, oh wow, straight rejection off. And then we see it. Yeah, cool. So again, I mean, let's watch this play out. Yeah, so keeps going up. So again, another example of the retracement tool working really effectively. I said this at the beginning of my video, but this tool really did change how I trade. I used to, when I first encountered it, I was kind of scared of it. I didn't really get it. I understand how it works, which is why I wanted to do this video. I'm happy to talk about this tool all the time. So if anything I've shown doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments, and we can go through it again. But I would recommend take some time to look at this tool. Don't just rely on MACD or RSI or all the other stuff. All the information you need to be a successful trader, to make good decisions and enter at the right area, at the right levels, is all in the chart. Remember, all of the indicators you're using are made up from data that is available within the chart itself. So yeah, it took me a while to figure out that actually these tools, using Fibonacci retracement tools and all that kind of stuff, they are just as effective, if not more, than the other ones. Yeah, not to say that I don't use the other ones, because I certainly do, but this one is my definite number one. Okay, and then the other one I wanted to talk about was the Fibonacci extension tool. So let's have a look at the Fibonacci extension, and what this does is essentially show you how far the price could extend if it were to move. If the retracement is successful, how far could the price extend? So let's have a look at that now. So what you're doing with this is you're just giving the Fibonacci, you're adding some more detail into the Fibonacci tool, and you're taking the last move up or down, whichever. You're then saying after this move up, it came down to this level, which is the level that we've just seen. And then the Fibonacci tool will tell you the levels, using the Fibonacci sequence that we talked about in the presentation earlier. How far is it likely to go up? And I said that 0.618 would be quite an important number. It's the level that I use to tell me when I should start thinking about taking profits, or where there's likely to be a reversal or a stop within the flow. So we've seen here, it's almost hit the 618. I don't know what's going to happen now. Maybe it won't hit it. Oh, it does. Perfect. And then starts to reverse off it. So I didn't plan for that to happen, but that is a really, really good example of where the Fib extension has worked incredibly well in that scenario. So yeah, fib retracement, my number one tool. My second tool is Fibonacci extension. They are very similar, and both equally useful in their own rights. Extension for finding areas to take profit, retracement for finding areas of entry. Okay, cool. I'll let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching all the way through if you have. I love hearing from you guys. So if you have any comments, have any questions, want to see another video, want me to dig into anything in more detail, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do another video or reply back to you. Cool. Thank you very much.